Keith Urban, you have already made my day. What are you most excited about for this Australian tour?
That it's happening. It's actually bloody happening because, like I said, we put our album out in September 2020, and the plan was to kick off the whole world tour in Australia in December 2020, and then we went, okay, December 21. Okay, December 22, but that's, and so we played the Goldie last night and it feels really, really good. And I guess the plus side is that songs like the duet with Pink, One Too Many, and other songs that we've had out for quite a while, everybody knows them verbatim now. So everyone's singing every word of all these songs.
What is it about this genre that I guess can resonate with fans in a way that lots of others don't?
I mean, I think, because I grew up playing in the pubs and clubs, our music obviously has always straddled all kinds of stuff, because I've got the duet with Pink and I've got duet with Amy Shark, and I've obviously got country stuff, non-country stuff. It sort of runs the gamut of it. I think it's really just about the spirit of the music that we make seems to speak to a lot of different kinds of people, and the vibe in the room is just positive, and uplifting and inclusive. And I think right now that feeling is really something that everybody in the audience is feeling as well. Everybody wants to come out. They've missed shows. They've missed being a part of things, and kind of coming out and being in the space with everybody is. You just so need it. You just have to be a part of it. It's really magical.
The songs, country songs in particular, they're narratives, right? And I just think that every single song of yours, particularly your new song, Street Called Maine, it's like a mini movie. And so when I'm listening to the lyrics, it's like I'm there and I've cast myself as the protagonist and I'm there walking down this street and I'm like, oh yes, that's right, I remember this. I remember that moment of my life. Does that happen to you?
Do you have somebody in your head in Street Called Maine?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think most people do in some form, so songs are amazing like that, and Street Called Maine really does hit upon the things that trigger a memory, and in this case, the person being on any street called Maine, immediately, wherever it is in the world, when they're on a street called Maine, they immediately flash back to this relationship from many, many years ago. So I'm glad you love that song, Georgia. That's really cool.
What are some artists that give you that feeling? What's a song that takes you back to a place that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm straight back again?
I went and saw a band called the 1975, who I just love and have for many years. I went and saw them play in Nashville.
Amazing.
I was on my own at the time, and I lobbed on down to see them play. And I left that concert and I'm driving home, and my first thought was, I think they're playing tomorrow night, like 8 hours away. I'm like, I could probably drive and see. I went, I'm doing this thing that I've heard from other people, and yeah, it's just when you're in an environment, whether it's a club or whatever it is, and you feel really good in that place, you just want that feeling again.
I've got to say, you may have been able to pick up, I'm a country music fan, I'm a diehard Swiftie, and you talk about collaborations, I got to ask about That's When. It is such a great song with Taylor. Just how does it come about? How do those things happen?
I was in the food court at the Bondi Junction Mall, and I get a text from, it's a true story, and I get a text from, this would have been December 2020. December 2020, I'm over doing my Chrissy shopping at the mall. I'm in the food court, and I get a text from her, and she said, hey, I've got a couple of songs that I'm thinking of doing. I'd love you to sing on them. Do you want to hear them? And I'm like, yeah. So she literally just sent them through to me. I sat in the food court with my little AirPods on listening to these songs, and next thing I knew, I was in the studio in Sydney singing on them.
Wow.
Simple.
Is that so simple? I mean, my mind's just been blown, but we'll call it simple, Keith. We'll call it simple. But I'd love to ask the story behind your wife, Nicole, and her very generous donation this week to a particular charity auction with her great mate, Hugh Jackman.
2019.
Did she let you in on that? Did you know that that was happening?
No. No. I think she thought she was actually buying Hugh. So,
Bargain price.
How much is Wolverine? But she's just got such a giving nature, Nick does. She always has. She's just extremely generous. That's just typically her right there.
What are your plans for Christmas?
Hopefully go to the beach. That to me is like, that's the first thing I think about, like getting to the beach. Good old Aussie Christmas. We're going to be here, so I'm stoked.
Oh, I wish you the best of times, Keith Urban, and I'm so excited to have you back in the country, back in Brizzy and back on the road. It has been a pleasure.
Likewise, and just a massive thank you to all the audience listening that's coming out to see us play. Thank you for hanging in there and being so patient. We will so make it up to you. Come and see us play. I promise you, you'll have the best night ever.
What a day.
I am so jealous.
Yes.
Like, my 25-year-old self is screaming that you got to do that. It's amazing.
I know, because you love him as well.
Well, I have these, I don't know if we'd call them great memories, pretty sad memories of me, like, going through a bad breakup at 25 and being in my car blasting his song that he has, which is Stupid Boy. And I was like, yeah, you're a stupid boy. But it was a really formative time in my life, put it that way.
I'll just point out unacceptable amounts of singing along to that segment from both of these people.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I think unacceptably mean amazing.
I'm annoyed because I literally had lunch in the Bondi Junction food court on Monday. Zero text.
Nothing Taylor. Crazy. Now, don't miss Keith's Speed of Now tour with special guest Birds of Tokyo. All the information is on our website.